Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Rick from RC Kinsman Studio. Today we're going to make a fun little Christmas card. We're going to create a whimsical modern Christmas tree, I guess is what we'll call it. But we're going to actually draw it. We're going to take a pencil and we're just going to, I have watercolor paper here. It's this Canson 140 pound watercolor paper. And I just flipped it over to the smooth side. There's a smoother and a rougher side on this paper. Grab my T-ruler because we want this to be in the center. So I'm going to put a little mark at 4. There's good. Want to make sure I have enough little room. I just lightly drew a little line down through there, a little bit darker than what I probably need. I'm just going to use that T-ruler. I can actually bring that in a little bit. Right there. Alright, now I can erase those lines. We actually want a little trunk, so we'll just kind of draw that in. And I'm just going to lightly erase those lines a little bit. Just enough that I can see to paint with. I know it's not really visible on camera, but I can see it here. And I'm going to use my Secure Koi watercolors. This is like the 30-something thing, I think. Fuel sketch box. I don't know, it's on the other part, so I don't know how many there is. But we're gonna do a little Christmas tree. Maybe we want another one, a smaller one maybe. Like right there. It can go off the page. And it's okay if it's a little wonky. We're just going to do 3. We'll do 3. There we go. I really should get my kneaded eraser out. But we're not. We're just doing easy Christmas cards. Alright, so I'm going to start with the one on the side. I'm going to get my paintbrush here. And I'm going to spritz my palette with a little water to get that pigment started moving. Let's go ahead and glaze over those lines a little bit. Let me get rid of that unwanted lines. And we're just going to take and fill in our triangle with some water. Let's see. We'll do this dark green here. And when you're doing this, you only want to put enough water that it's just a little glisten. And watercolor will move where there's water on the paper. Watercolor only flows where there's water. So always be, if you don't want water somewhere, or watercolor to move anywhere, don't put water there. If it goes outside the line a little bit, that's okay. We can fix it. It's all fixable. And it's really sad. I can paint a straighter line than I can draw one. All right, I'm going to pick up the little blue. It's like a turquoisey color, and I'm just going to drop that in. So just pick up a little different shade of green, and we'll drop a little bit of that in there. Add a little bit more water to get that moving. This is a size 8 black silver black velvet brush. Let's see. Pick up a little bit more color. That around. Try not to do like I'm doing and overwork it. Let it do its job. All right, let me dry this. All right, now we're going to do our next tree. That's why I needed to dry it. I'm going to try to keep the water away from our other tree that we just did. I'm going to mix a little lighter green into that blue mix we already have. Move that pigment around just a tad. While that's still damp, I can drop in just a little bit more color. Take just a damp brush and kind of soften that. All right. Let's go ahead and do our other little tree over here. Mix up a different shade of green. This is more of an olivey green. Let's soften our edges here and work that little line out. We don't want that line. Here's one thing when you have studio lights, everything dries pretty quick. All right, we're going to dry that. And I could have taped this down to a board so that it would stay nice and flat, but I didn't. All right, I'm going to come back in with a glaze of that first green on this middle tree to kind of even out everything. And all that means is just a very light, thin layer of watercolor. That looks better. All right, now we're going to paint in our little trunk. So I'm going to switch to a little smaller brush. Dab off a little paint. I'm just going to paint our little trunk in there. Over. Just all right, I'm going to take a little of that blue, and this is a pretty dry brush. And let that glide right across the bottom, where it kind of skips a little bit here and there. That way it's going to give us a little texture down there, and we're going to make it give us the illusion of maybe some icy snow down there. Let's do, I want to do a grayish color, a bluey gray, just to add a little bit to the background. And I'm mixing Payne's Gray, which is technically considered a blue. Just want to add just a little something to our background here. So I'm just coming right along our trees. And just blending, pulling that up. Super easy. There's no fancy technique here. And if I thought about it, like I said before, if I thought about it, I would have just taped this down so everything would have stayed nice and flat. But I did not. I want to drop in just a little bit more color. Just pulling that out. We're going to take and come over this tree a little bit with our second layer. Let's go over our little olive tree. All right, I'm going to dry that, and then we can finish putting our card together. We're going to add some splatters. I'm thinking it's kind of cute. Very whimsical, modernish. All right, let's take a little, just some white acrylic paint. Ugh, way too much. Way too much. Don't need that much. Add a little snow. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I have a screen. Splatter changes everything. All right, let me clean this up. Really should have used my splatter box. All right, while that's drying, we're going to take and I've got my card base already. We're going to use the Fa La La die from scrapbook.com and cut that out of some of the peppermint smooth cardstock, also from scrapbook.com. I'm thinking I originally thought of that little grayish blue color. But I'm kind of thinking we could do the blue. Or you could go completely to the other end. There's that lighter green, even lighter green. We could even do red. But I think I like either that greenish brown. I think that blends in too much, but I think that gives a nice little contrast. So I think this is what we're going to use. So my cardstock, my watercolor paper is 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to cut this down to just slightly smaller than that. Go like 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I'm actually going to cut the word right out of the center of my piece. And then nobody will ever know. So I'm going to run over to the big shot and cut this out. La, 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 la. All right, we're going to add this to our card. Our mat. All right, Rick. Line everything up right. There we go. So we're going to trim this edge a little bit. Just a smidge. And we'll add this to our card base. And I'm going to add that with some tape runner. I need to order some Tombow Extreme because I really liked it. Make sure that's nice and flat. All right, now we're going to add our word die. So let's get our reverse tweezers. Start some little dots behind there. Little dots. I'm just going to put that right there. Let's put us a couple of blocks on there to let that dry for a second. And we're going to grab little embellishments and add to the top. I have these that were free from a Picket Fence Studio order. Little sequins, Christmas mix. They were the More Peppermint Kisses mix. I have never used them, so we will add some of those. I'm not sure if these are available, but I know they have all kinds of embellishment mixes. I will link to something below or in the blog post that's pretty close. I could add them as decorations to the trees, or we could just add them around. I think we're just going to add a few around. Hold that for just a second. That's the problem when the glue starts drying. Things like to move. Alright, Rick. Stay sequence. Add a few more sprinkled around here. I could have used glue dots to hold these, but I didn't think about it. There's a lot of sequins in there. And I think we're going to add some rhinestones right in the center of each of our little sequins. And I just happen to have some red rhinestones. You could use whatever you have. Let me get a glue dot. That will be safer. But the little sequins in the middle, the little rhinestones in the middle of the sequins adds just a little bit more of a sparkle, more of a festive little touch. And I'm going to change that one out for a different one. Or 2 or 3. Oh no, I can't stop. Can't stop. Triangle, triangle, triangle. Triangle. Maybe a little too much. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below if y'all think that's too many. I think it's festive. All right, so that's the card for today. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope y'all are enjoying the holiday card series. And I will see you in the next video. Stay crafty. Bye, guys. Love you.